All right, guys, welcome back to Elevator Paso. Today we have a super cool episode. We're going to be speaking with Chris Jones. Chris is an actor, he's a director, he's the producer, he's the lighting guy, the camera guy, the writer. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Thank you for
I'm
having
doing
me.
good. Chris just had a new release, and the movie is called Save Me?
Yes, it's called Save Me. Originally, we started off as a series, and it just got we got a little too much trying to keep the consistency. It was going on for a couple of years, so that's when we were right in the middle of season 2, and we just decided to make it a full-on standalone movie.
The domestic violence.
My parents died when I was 13. I tried calling for help, but it was too late. They left and never came home. Then my wife died when she was 32. All we wanted was to be happy, to be better. But her pain was never her own. It was always his.
Punish them, but they don't learn a lesson.
What happens behind closed doors is everything. The people we love, what we see and learn every day. But it's not a cycle. It's a choice. And it's my choice.
There is no vigilante.
You're not a victim. If you can't look in the mirror, that's fine. But if you're out there hurting people, I will find you. I won't stop. And I will save as many people as I can.
You've got criminals
Whatever it takes.
playing with the lives of the innocent. They're playing with God.
Thank you. Thank you.
These days, you have everything on the streaming platforms, Netflix, Amazon. So I wanted to create something. What I'm telling everyone is that this is really, it's a movie, but it's really an oversized pilot. Something that I want to, we want to show as one big thing.
Yeah.
But then I also want to use to try and pitch, so that because I really feel that it could be a really good series.
And do you have any notion of where you want to pitch this or what your audience looks like?
Well, that's exactly what I mean. Right now, it's like everybody's it's Netflix and Amazon, so that's really what I want to target first. And of course, we want to hit the film festival circuit, and just the idea is just I really just want people to see it and see that we're here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are involved in the movie, a lot of talented people. From the actors to the artists, the musicians, and so I really, really just feel like there's a lot of, kind of the whole best kept secret thing. Where there's a lot of talented people here, and I'm really trying to show that. So I really tell people that it's everybody's project, not just mine.
For sure, and the fact that a lot of it takes place in El Paso and you're now featuring in El Paso, I mean, that's something that we should all be very proud of and find a way to go out there and support. Where is this going to be showing?
It's going to be shown at the AMC off of Lee Trevino and I-10. It's the East 12, and it'll be on 2 screens, and we have it for the one night, 7 p.m., and you can go online and get your tickets. It's the link is, we can probably show it, right? But it's ticketleap.com/SaveMeTheMovie, and once we have that premiere, then from there we want to try and get multiple screenings and multiple showings and things like that. So that will be the first night, March 4th, 7 p.m. And I really think that people are gonna like it.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I've seen some of the trailers. It looks super interesting, and we should all go out there and support our local talent, guys. Now, in regards to Netflix, we were talking about pitching to them.
Sure.
They're moving to Albuquerque now.
Well, see, and that's the thing is that I recently saw Breaking Bad for the first time.
Yeah.
I had never seen it. And I remember when that show was going on, I was just starting to kind of get the feel for what I was doing. And I remember how New Mexico was just growing overall, and now they have their studio. And I really wish I would have paid more attention to some of that, but that's okay. I mean, that's the cool thing, and I guess it's inspired me now because I really feel like it's something that can kind of, even though we're different states, different zones, it's still something that can kind of bridge together. If they have the content. So it's more of a reason why I feel like it's a good time for us and it's a good project to pitch.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We've already seen some of the impact of that movement going down in New Mexico, in El Paso. We've had several of castings for major movies in El Paso, and it looks like the New Mexico SAC organization is going to be trying to be a little more active on this side.
Yeah.
I mean, it is El Paso. It does seem like we should be more of New Mexico than of the rest of Texas, but that is a heresy. We are Texans. But that being said, brother, in the process of coming up with this story, it's been a few years of this.
Yes.
How have you seen the characters evolve?
Well, it's the film is actually it revolves around domestic violence, and to me personally, I think that domestic violence is kind of the center or the focus. It's every crime, every situation that happens nowadays. Sadly we have these tragedies that are happening, and it never really starts there. There's always a trail, and I feel like domestic violence, it always goes back to the home. It always goes back to what these people saw or experienced when they were younger, and that's what creates the person today. So I feel like even though we've been shooting for a few years, that part of it hasn't changed much, because it never ends. And I feel like in a lot of these movies today or stories today, they don't really focus on that part. So I feel that I wanted to show something that if we were to focus on those small we see them as small situations, because in today's world, I guess it's crazy what's normal today.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So,
yeah.
The fact that we let so many things just go by, if we were to focus on the smaller issues from the very beginning, I really feel like we could prevent a lot of stuff. So that's what this movie's about. And I think that even though times have changed, those situations, still exist.
Without a doubt.
And so I think it's still, it's, and then the culture, man. I mean, we're that's another thing I'm trying to show is, whenever you see movies, Hollywood movies, and they show El Paso, it's kind of like it's always a desert, or it's so I want to show them that, we're just like everybody
beautiful
else.
City,
and, and beautiful city, man. And a lot of people, I love El Paso. I'm constantly saying that, and I believe in it. And because a lot of people, it's usually people want to get out of El Paso, or they want to, they can't do anything in El Paso. And I feel like it's our biggest advantage, because, here we know people, and it's still kind of a handshake type of town. And that's how I like to work. And, you can really do anything you want to do.
Without a doubt. And it is a town that we are at that transition stage from going from a small town to a big city.
Yes.
And it's super important to keep that in mind, guys, because we all love the fact that we have that small town home feeling, but it's growing, and if we aren't careful to keep that as part of our entity, keeping El Paso friendly, we may end up growing into that cold city stereotype that everybody just doesn't agree with.
Right.
So it is important to have it out there in everybody's view as in a more true to our culture type of thing.
Right.
And so in wanting to touch on these issues, is there an awareness you're trying to raise on this?
Yes. The reason that I started, or that I kind of originally, I just wanted to be an actor. And so when people make movies, you obviously want to deliver a message or deliver some kind of a movement. And so on a personal level, I went through an actual domestic type relationship. It wasn't abusive or physical, but it was, I got to kind of see it was the first time I had ever seen, I guess, the trauma that someone can go through because of a situation that they experienced, or their childhood, the way it was. So it's crazy how that can become normal, and then it affects you as a person, and it changes everything. So that's when I guess I was a little, and then, and of course I did some, you do some research, or you start talking to people or asking people, and then you find out that, almost everybody in your life is going through some kind of domestic type situation.
Yeah.
So for the people who haven't gone through something like that, I mean, I totally, that's amazing. But, in my experience, most everybody that I know has kind of gone through something. Yeah. And that's kind of what brought up the whole, well, maybe it's because, people just don't know, or they don't, there's not enough example to show that you don't have to go that route, or you don't have to get let things get that bad.
Right.
And so again, what's normal today is very different from probably sure when we were younger, right?
we seem to have gotten jaded by a lot of these things. God, by the grace of God, there does seem to be a movement of more awareness now.
Yes.
There does seem to be more of a sensibility to other people, and so the fact that your movie's coming in, touching on these issues right when this is going on, I think it's a great trigger. It's a great timing for it as well.
Well, we just want people to know that they're not alone. I'm also going to try and share with. I'm in talks with a couple of domestic violence centers throughout the nation.
Yeah.
And just all we want to do is just to show it to them, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that's out there, it's also outdated. Mm-hmm. And to me, when it comes to domestic violence, it's like I think a lot of these programs, they're given to somebody as a punishment or as a consequence.
Right.
And I really think it's information that people, they should have this kind of stuff in schools. You know what I mean? Because I think the younger generation today, I feel like they're the ones that are lacking that information or experience, because everything's just, everything's on your phone, and, you can get a text and it'll ruin your day.
Yeah.
So, and it shouldn't, you know what I mean? But that's the generation or that's the life that we have now. So I really feel like it's just information. People don't need to treat it as a bad thing. Mm-hmm. They need to treat it as just awareness. And so that way, when it does happen, for example, you go out on if you're going to send your daughter off on a date, you tell her to be careful, right?
Right.
You don't tell her, hey, if, someone talks to you in a certain way or treats you a certain way.
Exactly.
So they don't know. So when it does happen, I think people just kind of tend to, I guess that's when people become ashamed, embarrassed, things like that. So it just, the cycle just keeps going.
Yeah, it's a great cause. It's a great issue. I think it could be very much the platform parents could use, or what triggers that conversation, or that alarm to make sure we speak about this.
Right.
So without a doubt, great deal. What is next for you?
Well, this one, this is actually my second film. Mm-hmm. My first one we completed in 2007. And of course, that was the big experiment, to see if I could do it. And we did it, and we had lots of fun, and it was amazing. This one is a little more. I feel like this is more. It's the first one where I'm comfortable with how I work and my process. Mm-hmm. So I really feel like I've put everything I have into this one. It's, everything. Money, and you do it on your own. It's like rent's late. I mean, it's nuts. You know what I mean? But it I think when you know what you want to do, it feels right.
Yeah.
And again, so I feel like this is really the first one, and when it's over, I already have the next one planned. But I already figured out a way how to compress it and get it done so it's faster, better, things like that. But I want this one to kind of be the anchor. Mm-hmm. So I can learn about the distribution process, the pitching process, the whole. Getting it shown. I think that was my, not mistake, but it's something that I learned right away after doing the first one. Is as soon as we finished, I took no time. We started doing other projects, and I just, I didn't take the time to learn that part. So I'm very behind on social media. My kids are the ones that teach me how to. They're the ones that taught me. I just got Instagram, and they taught me how to use it. Yeah. So I'm very, very. That's the thing, when you're doing your passion project or your passion work, you kind of fall behind, and you don't get out too much.
Yeah, and the second one that you have in mind, is this going to be a continuation of the story?
No, I want this one to. I'm really hoping that it can branch out into a series, and if opportunity were to come up, or perfect world, if Netflix said, hey, let's do 10 episodes, I know exactly what to do. But the next one, it's a different project. And it's just, I enjoy several genres of movies. Mm-hmm. And so for the next one, I want to really, I like acting. So I'm in this one and I'm the star. But the next one, I really want to see where my directing is. So I just want to do that, maybe take a supporting role, and I want to shoot the entire thing in 7 days.
Wow.
But what I want to do is, again, I think El Paso is so full of talented people. I think I've met enough people now to where I won't do the next one on my own. What I want to do is
Oh yeah.
use this one to obviously, make it bigger, but maybe that can also help me collaborate and be able to use different people so that, we can have someone to do the lighting or have someone just to do the sound and things
Yeah.
like that. And I think if we all came together, we could make one really good movie.
Did you get a chance to see the movies from the 24-hour film challenge?
I saw a few. And that's the thing is that when you go back, I think I started back in like '01. So I think from what I remember, there was only like 3 of us that were doing this. And now I see so many kids, and I've spoken at a couple of high schools before, and I see how they have the programs in school. And I mean, that's amazing, man. So now more than ever, I think if you guys out there, if you have a dream or if you enjoy this type of work, I mean, go after it because the resources are there. And
Yeah.
I don't really know these people personally. I've just seen certain clips on Facebook or Instagram, but it's inspiring to see them doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And for us, for me, it took me a decade to kind of learn. So it's just, I think all of them, man, congrats.
In the last 24-hour film challenge, there was a collaboration between Juarez Studios and El Paso Studios.
Oh, wow, okay.
It was amazing. I mean, these kids, sort of, there's some of them were a little more towards our age, but
Sure.
but they're pretty much college kids, and they had 24 hours. They didn't have a clue of what they had to do. They were given a word they had to use and a plot. And they went out there, came up with amazing products. Some of the, we had Jessica Meraz come back from Beverly Hills. She was one of the judges.
Oh, wow.
I believe Robert Orgade was another judge, and so on. So it was definitely something that was an eye-opening experience for me because, you sit there and think that it's monumental, but to see the power of teamwork in 24 hours. So now you sit here and tell me that you want to do it in 7 days.
Yes.
That's more than possible.
Well, we just did. I helped a buddy, and he had we just did it a couple of weeks ago, and we shot a whole feature in 5 days. So I just helped shoot it. We did it and everything, but I mean, he had all the planning, and he had some people together, and everyone was, it was new, and the people. I mean, the camaraderie was good.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I think again, I think what happened to me was just that. It's just the times have changed, and so I had already started something a long time ago, so it was just kind of that. I think everybody's kind of used to my process that it just takes me a while, but I'm excited, man. I'm really. I mean, I'm ready for a break. I mean, it's been a long time, but we'll take the little break, and then after that, like I said, the next one's planned. It's good. And I want to bring people, and I also want to try and bring some people in from out of town because
Nice.
I think the other advantage that we have in El Paso is that, again, we're the anchor, but we can show other people, El Paso by having,
Sure.
For example, if you're from out of town, you're bringing in your audience from wherever you're from.
Right.
And a lot of the musicians that we have from the movie, I purposely did that. I have musicians from all over the world, and they're just
nice.
people like us that are just trying to get their work out there.
Yeah.
And so I think that just by having them involved, I have their following or their family or their even if it's 2 people in China, that's 2 people. So that's I think that's the advantage of being here.
Chris, appreciate you so much, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Any last words before we let you go?
Just always believe in your friends and your dreams.
Meet me in London.
Hey, you,
Be there tonight.
I just wanted to say
I wanted to give you
that I love you and that I miss you.
I have.
And
Oh, it's all sudden,
that I'm sorry about earlier.
moving so fast.
We should be together.
Meet me in London.
You should be here with me.
It's all that I ask.
We should always be together, you and I.
For you.
We'll never be too old
all night.
or too tired.
I'll wait for you.
But I want you to know that I don't care if things didn't work out this time. You and I are gonna be together. Regardless of what's going on with my dad and my family.
I tell you there's blue skies.
Because I love you and I always prayed for someone like you. And I just don't want my dad or my family to take that away from me. I love you. Tonight is our night. We're gonna get married. I don't care. I don't care what happened. You and I are getting married, and we're gonna be together forever.
I'm standing outside police headquarters, where in just a few minutes, the district attorney's office will be holding a press conference to discuss the alleged vigilante crimes. While we wait, here's a quick update on the Alvarez Raid that took place yesterday, not too far from where we are now. Last night, El Paso detectives and SWAT officers were dispatched to an East Side home, a home that we now know belongs to cartel queen Genevieve Alvarez. A no-knock raid was executed and led to several arrests, including Genevieve herself and 3 other members of the Alvarez family. All suspects were taken into custody on suspicion of drugs, money laundering, and prostitution. Captain Gage Randall says that the search warrant was the result of a 3-month undercover investigation. No comment or statement has been released as to what or how much was actually found at the scene. And when asked if there was any connection to the recent vigilante crimes, again, no comment. Either way, the operation so far appears to be a win-win for Randall and his team.
Special Agent James Foley, this is our captain, Gage Randall.
How you doing?
And our fierce District Attorney, Elena Croft.
Alina, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Belinda, what are you doing here? We don't need the FBI or any other agency. Crime in El Paso is our responsibility, and we will handle this.
Well, we don't want it taken care of. Just yet.
Excuse me?
We want the vigilante to keep doing what he's doing. Reports came in this morning. Domestic violence is down 22%. Last month it was 7%. Assault, battery down 11%. Sexual assault 4%. Cyberbullying 11%. Robbery and vandalism 22%. And the list goes on and on and on. Whether you like it or not, this vigilante is working for us. He's making people think twice about breaking the law.
That's because he's breaking the law.
Well, the commissioner feels otherwise. If you, and when you, apprehend this individual, you are instructed to bring him in.
Why don't you just say his fucking name? Everybody knows who it is.
I know.
No, this is insane.
Ma'am, if I may. The Bureau, myself, we're not trying to overstep or escalate the situation in any way. In fact, we see this as an opportunity.
An opportunity? For what?
To recruit. These reports also show statistics from when he was employed. Again, crime went down, and then back up again when he left. How's he doing it? What is he doing differently? And even now, why?
You want to take him?
We want to take Arkin and see what he can do in a bigger city. More crime, more demand. And that's about all I can say for now. Either way, we can take him off your hands, if you let us. He knows you're onto him, which means the people here could be compromised. He's getting help.
Okay, look, I have a press conference to go to. What is it you want me to say?
You say what needs to be said. And we'll be in touch.
Please do something.
I'm on it.
I need it harder and I need it faster.
Calm down, I'm on it.
And don't ever tell a woman to calm down.
Hey, it's Foley. They bought it. Yep. So whatever you're planning, let's do it now. But carefully. Because they'll be looking for you. Both of you. Good luck.
Too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the work could be dangerous. Everybody's circling is vulturous. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall, man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping there could be one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, running like a racehorse. Booming like a ripcord. Break me down, throw me up, I wanna be the slip, word up on your lip. Letter that you rip. Break me down and throw me up. Whatever it takes.